Fight Talk Live. Hey guys, welcome to Fight Talk Live right here on MotiveRadio.com. I'm Adam Villarreal, and you know we missed it last week because we had a holiday. We had 4th of July. Hope everybody had a great and safe holiday. I did nothing. I stayed home. I maybe had a beer. I'm officially old and boring. We went outside. Neighbors gave my daughter a couple sparklers. I'm a pretty bad dad. What can I say? I'm a bad dad. So we missed last week, so we're happy to come on. I did advertise David Martinez, Martinez Boxing, and Don Plarte that they were going to be on the show today, but due to some last-minute scheduling conflicts, we're going to go ahead and have them next week. And I'm just going to jump right in. Let me introduce the man who saved today's show. You know him, you love him, you've seen him on here before, Mr. Colin Wright. Colin, what's up, brother? How are you?
What's up, Adam? I'm good.
You saved the show again.
I do what I can.
So we actually planned on having you come on next week. That's what we talked about.
Yep.
So we ended up getting you on today. So you got something big coming up, man. That's what you wanted to talk about. Tell us a little bit about what's been going on.
Yeah, man. I'm fighting for the featherweight championship at AKA, which is a relatively new promotion. This is their 4th show. It's going to be at the Horseshoe Casino in Bossier City, Louisiana. And you better believe I'm bringing that strap back to the H.
Nice, brother. So who are you fighting? And what do we know about the guy?
Well,
the victim.
So his name is Kendrick Williams. He calls himself Black Dynamite.
Well, hold on. That is a good name. I mean, you got to give it to him.
Yeah, but but let's be honest here. Cyrus Washington is the real Black Dynamite.
Okay.
You know?
All right. No.
So.
Noted. Absolutely. So how do they go about extending an offer to you? How do you become a part of this show? Walk me through it for the guys out there who are looking to get into MMA and get some fights.
In this particular case, I've kind of been around the scene for a long time. My former manager, Rich Burmaster, actually contacted me about this opportunity, and we set it up
Rich
through my manager,
dude,
so that was basically it. There wasn't a whole lot to it. We liked the matchup, so.
So what do we know about the Black M80? Because he's not Dynamite if he's fighting you. I mean, the guy's going down.
Yeah.
What do we know about this guy?
Actually, Matt Schnell is good friends with him, but he's also.
Go home, we'll introduce you in one sec. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
He's mostly a kickboxer. He's very explosive, good athlete. He's had some MMA fights.
All right,
but
cool.
He's a good kickboxer.
Well, we'll talk a little bit more about that in just a second. But as you heard, we do have Matt Schnell in the studio. I've been told he was one of the most handsome guy in the UFC. Now that I've actually met him, I do agree that he is actually the most handsome guy in the UFC. Matt Schnell, what's up, man? How are you?
The rumors are true.
The rumors are true.
Indeed. No, thanks for having me. It's good to be here. Obviously, I've lived in Houston now for the last 6 months, and I've been a small part of the scene here for a little bit. So I appreciate your time.
So tell for people who may not know you or know about your background. Where are you from, and how did you make the transition to Houston?
So I'm originally from Shreveport, Louisiana, and fought in the scene. I fought in Houston too early in my pro career, but originally from Shreveport. So I came up around the scene.
Starting to hear that accent. There it is.
Yeah, and trained at American Top Team. Now I currently train at CSA in Dublin, California. Fought my way through Legacy, won the Legacy title, fought into the UFC, was on the Ultimate Fighter, now actively on the UFC roster.
It's funny. I'm so late with the Ultimate Fighter. I actually just saw Delaney's fight yesterday. That's how far behind I am. Yeah. Talk to me a little bit about the whole experience in being in the Tough House, and what can you share? I mean, they only show us the exciting stuff. I'm sure it's punctuated by tons of boredom.
Yeah, listen, it's a long, arduous time, and we've got. Okay, yeah, we got 6 weeks in that house, and when you first walk in the door, it seems like it's a huge, sprawling place, but that house gets smaller and smaller every single day. You start to get on each other's nerves. I was fortunate enough; I was in a house full of professionals, guys that were very good, who had a lot of fights. So we all got along pretty well, but it was tough. It was tough being away from my friends and my family, and I kind of, going into it, thought that I would have an advantage there because I lived away from home, and I was always away from friends and family. But when you can't pick up the cell phone and text your girl,
Yeah.
it's rough. So yeah, it was hard. It was harder than I thought it would be. For
You
sure.
know, I still go back to season 1 with the guy who left because he got a letter from his girlfriend who thought he was cheating, and you know the guy pissed away an opportunity at a UFC contract. You know, obviously, you know, since then you've gotten more guys who are a little mentally stronger. And would you say that it would have been easier without a girlfriend, or you know, either way it was still the same, you know, same effect?
No, I've always been very thankful for my now wife. You know, we've been together my entire professional career.
Nice.
So I've been thankful for it because it's kept me on task. You know, I've been getting, you know, I had a time where I fought like 6 times in a year, and we stayed busy. And when you're not out chasing young ladies, it makes it easier to, you know, keep focused on the task at hand. So I was always thankful for my wife, now wife.
You know, she should be thankful too. I mean, she's married to the most handsome guy in the UFC.
Yeah, you
That
tell
goes
her.
a long way.
I hope she's listening.
I mean, she must have like tables at restaurants like that, and discounts, and it's got to come to something, man. So let me ask you, Colin. Do you guys ever train together? What do you? How do you guys know each other?
Yeah, that was how we met. We were training. Where did
We met at Main Street or Houston
Oh,
Muay Thai. Yeah,
that's right.
and
Bob introduced
yeah,
us.
let him know that I was
Bob.
moving in the area. And
Yeah.
so we started training. I mean, it's been almost a year now since
Yeah.
we started working together
Yeah.
here
Matt's-
and there.
I love working with Matt because he's super technical. He's a little smaller than me, and he's super fast. So it's like you got to keep a high pace, and you're constantly thinking and stuff. And he gets exposure to some of the best coaches in the world at CSA and stuff, and at American Top Team. So it's good getting his perspective as well. So so I really enjoyed our time.
Yeah, I
working
think
together.
it's, you know, I would like to note that I moved to Houston because I believed in the talent in the area, you know, like training with guys like Colin and John Davis and
Oh, yeah.
what's the kid that looks like Bruno Mars, Alden.
Yeah, Alden.
That kid, these kids are good. You know, I made the decision to move to Houston because I knew that there was a scene here that could keep me busy in between fights so that I could stay ready and continue to grow. And, you know, like kids like John Davis and Alden and, you know, Colin too, I got to be careful. These guys are stealing rounds from me every single time I'm on the mat with them. So it keeps me sharp and, you know, I like what I see in the area. You know, I just want to continue to, you know, be a part of it and help it grow, and you know, see some more guys fighting in the UFC.
You know, it is amazing how far the Houston scene has come, man. You know, I mean, I remember it was always like, it seemed like there was these maybe 2 good gyms and all these little crappy gyms now, but all these gyms have just grown and the talent has evolved. And you know, whereas I thought maybe guys on the West Coast could really, you know, put a whooping on us, now it's like, no, man, it's even.
Yeah.
You know, it's an even Steven card with anybody. And, you know, the great gyms, I mean, you mentioned Bob, you know, there's, you know, like Jeremy Mahon with War, obviously Paradigm, all these amazing gyms. So, you know, I mean, I think you're right, Matt, you know, coming down here to keep yourself sharp, keep yourself busy. Like, there's no, like, plateauing of talent. Like, there's always just this evolution. And all these great gyms that punctuate it. So that's cool that you're here. So that was the main reason you moved down here? Or was
You know,
there...
I'm from Shreveport, and being in South Florida, I don't know if you know, but that's like a different country out there,
Yeah.
South Florida. So it was nice to just come back to this region and area so that I can
That's not a bad drive either.
be
wherever
close
you
to
wanna
home.
go.
Yeah, I go to Shreveport, it's 4 hours away. I go to Lafayette, it's 4 hours away. I'm going there this weekend, so you know I'm close to family. My dad lives in Conroe, so he's just an hour away. Lives on a beautiful lake.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
we go
yeah.
out there and have a great time all the time. So yeah, I just wanted to get back closer to family. I was getting married, and we wanted to be closer to family. And you know, Houston's also a hub, so I'm one plane ride away from anywhere I want to go.
Absolutely.
And that's that's why we're here.
So did you guys check out UFC 226?
Absolutely, I watched
I
every
did.
fight.
Man, you know, I got to shout out my wife. We were at home, and, you know, I don't know what it is, man. I'm just becoming this boring, ornery old man. Tuesday was my birthday. Ask me what I did.
Sat at home drinking beer.
On my couch. I didn't even go out to dinner.
That's the thing to do.
Dude, like, I don't know what's going on with me, man. I think I'm going through menopause or something. Getting these hot flashes. I gotta keep it cold in here.
Menopause.
Menopause. I like that.
Yeah.
And so she's like, no, let's go watch the fight. So we ended up going to, like, there's the Sam's boat now out in Cyprus. So we got there right in time for Derek's fight. Like, as soon as we walked up, Derek was doing the beating of the chest. And so I didn't get to see the earlier fights as it happened. But, I mean, first of all, the Max Holloway dropping out was huge. Did y'all see what I posted today? Okay, I don't know how much
water poisoning or something.
Well, no, I don't know how much credence there is in this article. You know, all this fake news going around. But there was a post that I shared. I didn't read all of it. You know, that's why there's fake news, because people like me just share shit. And they were saying that he's showing signs of having had a stroke.
Oh wow.
So that's weird if you think about it. Like, I always ask fighters all the time about CTE. I mean, you've been in the game a long time. You know, figure 5 more years of like heavy sparring and fights. Like, do you guys ever wonder about that? And so you got to figure a guy like Max Holloway, you know, he's taking some shots, man. You know, he loves to point down there and start banging out there in the cage. And, you know, imagine that being the case. Like, he's having some kind of, you know, weird. They thought he had a concussion. You know, I don't know if did you see the Michael Bisping Fox video?
I did, yeah.
Where he's like, "Hey, you look a little sleepy. You look like you just woke up." And
Yeah, he's
he
slurring
looked like
his
he was just like
words
hit the J, and you know. But yeah, apparently, I don't know how much credence there is in there, but they're saying that he's showing signs of having had a stroke, and that's scary as shit. The guy's what? He's not even in his 30s.
It has something to do with CTE, or what were you
No,
talking about?
no,
water
I
poisoning?
brought up CTE because I was talking about the damage, you know, that
Yeah.
you know we all take in training.
Yeah.
You know, but say like he's gotten damage and maybe that was a byproduct of it. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, so
You were saying something about water poisoning?
no, he did. What did he say?
I thought I saw some article
That
that
would
said
be
something.
interesting. That makes sense. you
Yeah,
know? Like
well-
we probably, and who knows how much water.
So talk to me about water poisoning. What do you know about that?
Well, so one of the main methods of cutting weight is to basically drink a ton of water, right? So typically, you know, you're not going to drink enough water to poison yourself, but you absolutely can.
Yeah, you can overdo it.
Yeah, you can-
I've felt loopy and like, ooh, I'm drinking too much water. Like,
Yeah,
pounding water.
Well, that's actually what this says. So apparently, there's a quote that Dana gave to Kevin Iole, saying, "We heard that he was water loading, which is super dangerous. When you water load, and I didn't know this for those of you out there that might know, there's such a thing as water poisoning, and you actually can drink too much water and die from it." You know, it's funny, this weird story. Remember when the Nintendo Wii came out? There was a radio station that held a contest that was saying that was called "Hold Your Wii for a Wii." So they would let these people drink a bunch of water, and whoever pissed last won. Well, the lady who won died because she drank so much water, and she didn't go to the. You know, they were trying to not go to the bathroom. And so she died from it. So this radio station got sued. So to read that
Yeah.
and to hear this,
Crazy.
and so he continued with the quote saying, "It got scary to where a doctor was like, you know, this could be a sign of a small stroke." That's the last word I got. So apparently that was a quote from Dana White. So water loading. So have you guys ever did that?
I do it every.
weight?
I do it every single camp.
I do it
I mean,
every camp,
every time I
too.
cut weight, I water load.
So Matt, tell me a little bit about the science behind that or the reason to do that. And hearing this, if that changes your mind at all.
First and foremost, I want to state that I don't know anything. And everything.
He's like, I'm just handsome.
Yeah,
all right, I'm just handsome.
everything I've done, it's what I've been told to do, and it's things that have worked well for me. But I do understand that, like as you rinse water through you, you're flushing your body not just of water but nutrients as well. So vitamins, minerals that are essential in you running every single day, especially electrolytes when you talk about salt.
Yeah.
And people cut out their salt really early because they don't want their body to hold on to as much water. But what you're doing with the water load is making your body pretty much used to getting rid of fluids, so that when the time comes when you start your last flush, you don't get stuck at 128 pounds trying to get to 126 or 125.
Right.
So it kind of, to me, it feels like it prepares my body to let go of the necessary fluids so that I can make weight. So your body is a really smart thing, and it understands when it's in danger. So
Yeah, it does,
if
yeah.
I cut out water, and I know guys, even guys that are out, that are fighting in gyms, around us, that they cut out their water days and days in advance. And this is the biggest mistake you can make.
You say that, I gotta take a drink.
Yeah,
Hurry.
take a sip of water. Yeah, because your body's gonna try and hold on to what it has in it. If you cut it out days in advance, it's gonna realize like, yo, I'm not getting any water. You're gonna have a very hard time cutting weight. So the idea is to put as much water in you as humanly possible, so that up until you step on that scale, your body can flush weight.
So have you ever had any kind of adverse effect from it, from doing this? I mean, can you share of a time or maybe of a teammate that you know of? hurt themselves.
I can talk about it for days. I feel like again.
If you could give an example.
The,
like
the
something
term,
like
the
that.
term, what is it? Water poisoning.
Yeah.
I just heard that just now and like completely made up in my mind what it is. So I'm not exactly sure. But my idea is that I think guys overdo it. You can only take there's only so much water you need to be considered water loading. It's probably about a gallon, maybe a gallon and a half, but you don't need to be doing 2 gallons. And I've done as many as 3 gallons at a time in a day. Trying to doing my best. Like, man, I'm heavy. Let's get some water down. When I was on the Ultimate Fighter, easily 3 gallons a day, easily.
Damn. What
Yeah.
about you, Colin?
Yeah, so I typically cap out at about 2. Like
I think we might have to have a water intervention.
Yeah.
We can get everybody together.
I'm drinking Mountain Dew
No.
right now. Doing all right.
Goddamn Mountain Dew, man.
Pay me, right?
So talk to me about that, Colin.
Yeah, so I do the same thing. I water load as well, and then I do a sodium load as well. So I do the sodium load because, kind of like Matt said, I want to stay as hydrated as possible for as long as possible. Like, I think that's a big mistake that a lot of fighters that I know do it, especially wrestlers that are used to cutting weight all season long.
Yeah.
They're used to doing it at that certain way, and I think that particularly for MMA, where we have like a full day to rehydrate and weigh
Right.
in, it's much more important to do it that way because you will feel a lot better the next day once you rehydrate. I've definitely had some adverse effects from cuts. I've like kind of messed around with different methods. Luckily, I had a really good mentor, Brian Melanson.
Oh, yeah.
Guy was a stud. I mean, UFC fighter, and that guy would cut from 210 to 155. I mean, I don't
That's
know
just
how.
unreal.
Believe it or not, that's not actually the craziest. I have a teammate. Shout out to Tyler. He will blow up to like almost 285. I shit you not, and he fights at 155. I'm
No,
not
I don't
even
believe you.
exaggerating. I'm
I
not even
don't believe
exaggerating.
you.
I'm not
No.
even. I've seen him do it twice.
Oh,
I've seen him do.
okay.
I mean,
What's
it's
he
not
going
like.
around that to? What is he
No,
blowing up to?
Y'all
Right.
talking
he's-
about an intervention. Somebody that's just gotta know. Like, bro,
Okay.
you're losing a whole
So
person.
no. So okay, so let me specify. He's not going straight from 285 right to 155. He cuts gradually down to like 170 and then cuts from 170 to 155. So it's not like he's doing this.
What kind of timeline
But
are we looking at?
We're talking about over a year. Over the
Okay.
course of a
Yeah,
year, he'll
but even
fluctuate.
still, I mean,
but
that's
it's
still-
a crazy fluctuation, and I've seen him do it twice.
There's no way that's good. There's no way that's
No way it's good. No. I think he knows that as well. But man, he's a hard worker. He's a good guy.
I think there's a lot of mistakes you can make throughout the whole process, though.
Yeah.
Well, early on in my professional career, I feared cutting weight because I did the MTV Cage things, and we did 5 fights in 5 months, and I was making weight every month, and it really hurt me. So going into my professional career, I was like, all right, I'm changing the game. I'm not cutting as much weight. So I
Yeah.
would like cut out my carbohydrates really early in my camp, and I wouldn't have to get in the sauna, and I could just like shadow box my weight off. But I noticed that I wasn't performing very well.
Yeah.
You know, like I couldn't perform. I was dieting myself to death, and then later on in my career, I was like, I can't do this anymore. Made the switch, started cutting more weight, and still using the water load. But it's a process. Like, and I know Max, he's got great people around him. He's got the highest level
Well,
of
and that's
professionals.
what I mean, you know,
but
that-
still, it takes a toll.
I've always said that. Like I've said this probably every show. When a fighter at the UFC level like misses weight, for example, I blame the team, the cornermen, coaches, because at that level, when your only job is to be in shape and train and spar and get ready for these fights, everyone's got to know what your weight is.
Yeah.
I mean, how could they not know and say, "Hey, we're 2 weeks out. This is where you are."
I got to jump in there.
Okay,
just,
please do.
Just this is
Because I'm on the outside looking at it.
Yeah, for sure. Real quick, hi to my wife. She's blowing me up. I love you. Hello.
You're married to the most handsome man in the UFC.
Somebody
You
got to
must
tell
be
her.
very proud.
Somebody
We're
gotta-
happy for you.
Okay,
I'm a
so
little jealous.
as far as the individual always has to be responsible. I think this is a mistake that a lot of young guys make coming up, is they want like their coach and their team to be responsible for the actions they take and the decisions they make, so that and it's almost like a built-in defense mechanism, so
Okay.
that if things don't go right, they don't take responsibility.
Right.
In my most humble of opinion, we should always be accountable for what we're doing, our own actions.
Absolutely.
Like,
I want
Agreed.
to piggyback on that because this is actually something that I've noticed in MMA, and I think it's just because of the way that, it's a relatively new sport, so it's like one of those things, like it's just we're kind of figuring things out as we go along, whereas like boxing has been around forever. And I think something that's really interesting when you go into a boxing gym,
Yeah.
like there's no like, oh, coach, what should I do? There's no classes. It's nothing like that. Like you go in, you lace up, you start hitting the bags, you move around, you shadow box, you do stuff, and then after 6 months of doing that, the coach might come over and be like, hey, I see some potential in you. Let's get a little work. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's not. And so it's one of my favorite things going to Main Street actually because of that.
Give him a plug.
Yeah, Main Street Boxing. Just Aaron Navarro, man, the man. Just the best boxing coach in the city, and yeah, dude, I love going over there. They've got world champions over there. They've trained a bunch of world champions. It's just a really phenomenal atmosphere, and it's something that I think is interesting because I see this a lot in MMA. Is like guys will show up and they'll be like, okay, what do I need to do to become an MMA fighter? You know, and they're like, and then they're like, okay, well, go to this class, and then it's just kind of like a little bit more laid out for them. Whereas in boxing, I think guys just kind of figure it out on their own, and I don't know.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me flip it around. Say you guys are cornering someone, getting ready for getting one of your teammates ready for a fight, and you start noticing it's a little heavy. 2 weeks in, it's like, hey man, what do you do? I mean, do you start telling them, hey, you don't say? I see you shaking your head, Matt. Tell me why you're shaking your head.
I don't check up on guys I'm training around. If I am their coach, I suppose then I would feel a little more
that's the angle that I'm
responsible.
coming at. Yeah.
If I'm their coach, then I feel a little more. But like training partners, day in and day out.
No, not training partners. Guys that you're helping get ready for a fight.
Yeah.
Guys that you're going to corner. That small group of people who take that flight, that road trip to the fight, because the whole gym doesn't come.
Well, as a coach, I think it boils down to who you are. And for me, I wouldn't want my guys to go in there and be vastly outmatched by size, but I'm not coaching at a level where I'm going to have people cutting weight.
Yeah.
To be honest, I'm coaching at an amateur level.
Sure.
I don't think guys should be cutting weight at an amateur level.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm going to make sure that they're in a weight class where they're not going to miss weight because they're only about 3 pounds over. And if they are, like,
if you can't
it's
cut
like,
3
bro,
pounds.
go for a dang run. Come on, man.
Yes, well,
Like, who's the most notorious fighter right now in the UFC who constantly misses weight?
it definitely was Johnny Hendricks.
Yeah, big rig,
Yeah.
eating the steaks at his big rig restaurant. And, that a guy like that, like if you were Johnny Riggs' cornerman, or like his boxing coach or jiu-jitsu coach, whatever.
Okay.
What do you do with a guy like that?
Personally, having trained up there with him,
Okay.
and seeing him several weeks out from missing weight, he was like, I think he was like 198, like 3 weeks out from a fight, something like that. And
He's probably still hydrating with Mountain Dew.
Yeah, Well, here's
He
the thing.
puts a steak and blends it, makes a steak smoothie.
That guy owns a steakhouse.
Yeah.
And he likes his steak and potatoes, you know what I mean? So he gets
That's
down
like a
like
gambling
that.
addict, like being part owner of a casino.
Honestly, what it boils down to is you're a grown up. You signed the
Right.
dotted line. Are you
agree.
going to be accountable for that? Like you
Right.
can't point the fingers at Dolce or this guy or that guy. Like I
Yeah.
feel like when dudes start doing that, they're really grasping. And I've missed weight. I've weighed in a half-pound heavy before, and
But
a half pound.
Yeah.
That's when you're talking like
missing
3 and
weight's
4
missing weight. You miss,
That's
you
true.
miss,
No, I
right?
totally agree with you.
And I even at the time, like I didn't miss weight because I couldn't make it. I kind of ran out of time, straight up. But I told him that I just ran out of time. And when I still could have gone and cut, but it was like $50. I wasn't making. It was like, I'll pay you $50 not to step back in the sauna, And then I made the decision, but I was responsible. And you like, at the end of the day, we're adults. We're professionals too, and you just got to make the weight.
But when you're a professional, okay. So I'm sorry, Colin, I didn't mean to cut you off
No,
there.
you're good.
Again, when we talk about this UFC level, there's that show money, there's win money, just like any fight.
It's a large amount of money.
It's a large amount of money. So if your cornermen are relying on that money too, it's like.
Well, then at that
Because that's
point,
their money too.
That-
'Cause
then
you know what I
that-
mean? It's
yeah.
I really feel, and I got to stand by it. If you're at that level and you're missing weight, the cornermen should be not held responsible for it. I feel like they should know more about it, and there should have been more done about it. So again, talking about Max Holloway, water loading like this to the point to where he's getting physically affected to show concussion-like symptoms, like.
But it's got to. I'm thinking the Max Holloway deal was probably a number of things,
Yeah.
right?
And it could be, sure.
Yeah, it wasn't just the water. It
We're speculating at this
It was
point.
probably all of the above. If if we boil down to it. It's probably all of the above. You know, he's probably took a lot of damage. He's strung a bunch of camps together in a row. He's water loaded a bunch in a row. He's tried to make weight a bunch in a row.
Because I was reading like a statistic that he's been pulled out of his last 2 or 3 fights.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Well, he did take. I think he took 2 of those 3 on short notice.
Really short
so.
notice, yeah.
Hey guys, if you're just tuning in, this is Fight Talk Live. We have Colin Wright in the studio and the most handsome man in the UFC, Matt Schnell. Colin, you were going to say something about the cutting weight. What were you going to mention?
I don't even remember.
I already forgot.
Yeah.
No, but so I don't know. I think it's at that level when there's all this money on the line, you know, because coaches don't make a lot of money. You know what I mean? Your coaches don't make a lot of money, and you're in a unique, privileged position to be able to start making this kind of money. I just feel like, come on, man, like we're in this together. It's like,
I get that.
you know.
I understand that when you think about it from a business sense and a monetary standing, then yeah, I would probably, if I'm sitting there and I know, like, all right, I get 5% of this guy's money.
Right.
If he gives 30% to the other guy, then that's, like, yeah, that makes sense. But you got to make weight.
Yeah.
I mean,
Let's just get paid for regardless. Make that
Well, and the other thing is, like, there are probably a lot of factors that you may not even, like, consider. Like a Michael Chiesa situation. Like, that dude is massive lightweight. Like, just a human, like, not
Yeah.
really, technically, probably should not be able to fight at that weight class, you know, and he missed weight. And he said, look, I'm going up to welterweight. Like, I think Max is probably on the higher end of 145 for sure. So, like, even if he had a good cut,
and we got to think,
when you're
too,
cutting 30 pounds.
yeah, we're watching.
That's a lot of weight.
A lot of these guys we're literally watching grow up in front of us. Like Max Holloway's been in the UFC since he was 20 years old.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, so he might literally have grown out of a weight class, and
Yeah.
it's something that is a
That's a really good
byproduct
point.
of staying active and fighting. And dude's fought a lot too. He's been active his whole career. So making weight, cutting weight, training for fights adds muscle on you in and of itself. And then you think you get older. I mean, things just change. So who
Why
knows?
don't I know it?
I know I felt like I grew out of 35. The last 2 times I cut. So when I fought Adrian Yanez, I just had no strength in that fight. Like, I'm not trying to make any excuses by any means. He beat me fair and square.
Yeah.
But, like, I landed that first punch, and the second he clinched up with me, I just felt every ounce of energy just drained from me. And I was fighting that the rest of the fight, you know what I mean? So, like, and this was something that I knew several weeks out, like, from the training camp. Like, 4 weeks out, I was getting out-grappled by guys that previously had nothing on me. And it was a strength issue. It wasn't like
It wasn't a skill issue.
Right, my body was just failing me, and it was one of those things where it was kind of like, well, we agreed to this weight, and we got to kind of make it, and I made the fight, and it didn't go my way. So, and then the next fight, the fight previous to that, I fought Ryan Hollis, and I actually passed out 4 times making weight for that fight, and I still.
What were you fighting?
So
What, like, at the
this
time
is
you
really
passed out? What
this
was
is kind
walking
of crazy. So I was walking around. I could not. I was really struggling getting under 153. If I can get under 150, then I know I can make 35, right? Because I previous experience or whatever. But I was stuck at about 53. I managed to finally get down to 51, and then I started doing my water cut. So when I have that much to do, I do half the night before, half the night of. So I started cutting, and I was down to like 146 and a half. And I tried doing a hot tub, right? Because I was at home, I had nothing going, I was like, whatever, I'm just going to relax, and then I'll do the big cut tomorrow. And so I sit in this hot tub, and it doesn't get hot enough. So I sat in there for an hour thinking, like, well, if it's not hot, at least the salt will do its job, and it'll suck some of the moisture out. So, which was a dumb idea. I'd also taken a very mild, very natural diuretic tea,
Oh, no.
right? And so
Gotta drink some cranberry juice.
no. So that was it. And so
Like
so,
ET by the time you're done.
so I go to sleep, right? And I wake up in the middle of the night, diuretic kicks in, I'm grumbling, right? I'm going to run to the bathroom. I go to sit down, and I pass out. Well, the wall in front of me was beveled, and I smashed my face into the beveled wall and, like, scraped my face down the wall. And I woke up on the bathroom floor going, what the hell just happened? So I go to stand up. I pass out again. Another, like, 30, 45 seconds goes by. I wake up. I crawl to the kitchen. I'm like, okay, I got to get some electrolytes in me, right? And
So
so
at
I,
least clean yourself first.
luckily I had not.
These are questions that need to be answered.
Luckily, I did not shit myself.
Okay,
Thank
good.
God. But anyway, so crawl into the kitchen, grab a coconut water, start sipping it, and then I pass out again on the way to the bedroom. And so I called my stepmom, who's a doctor, and I was like, "What do I need to do?" She's like, "Look, you have to sip some Pedialyte." And I was like, "Okay, well, does that mean my weight cut's done or what?" And she's like, "Well, you should be all right." And so I kid you not.
Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Doc.
I kid you not. I drank like a quarter of a Pedialyte, woke up the next day, and then cut to 134.5, showing up feeling like death.
You're a monster.
And I ended up winning that fight, but
Jesus.
but I did not feel very strong. You know what I mean?
I had this
So-
conversation with somebody earlier, and I'm not sure, but like everybody, and when we're young too, I think coaches that haven't, like, sport's still relatively young, so we want to take as many advantages as we can, and not being as educated as humanly possible, they might think, well, let's just cut weight, let's get as small as we can. But as you cut weight, you lose muscle mass. Of course, you lose durability, and you're slower, and you're moving down a weight class where guys are going to be faster.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, yeah.
You know, there's also advantages to not cutting weight. You are going to be more durable. You'll be able to take shots better. You'll have a better tank. Like there's a lot of things to it. And when you cut less weight, you know that at least you'll be in the right speed category, or you might be slow. I don't know. I don't know guys like that. Don't hang out with slow people.
Yeah.
I don't think we can be friends.
Yeah, well, shoot.
Talking about getting old, man. I was at war last week. I was
Yeah.
telling Ben the story. I forgot who it was. Some kid. I told him. I said, "Listen, dude, we were doing jiu-jitsu, and we're starting from standing. Everyone wants to start. Like new guys always want to start from the knees, but fights don't start there.
Right.
So the first thing I said is, like, listen, dude, don't slam me. All right, just don't."
Please.
I know what's coming.
And the first thing he
I know
does
it's
is
coming.
double. And I should have seen it coming.
Yeah.
He double legs me, picks me up, drops me on my back, and I was like, okay. And he hops into side control. And then, so anyways, I start trying to shrimp, and so I told him, I was like, dude, I said not to slam me. He goes, oh, that wasn't a slam. You mustn't have seen my slams.
No,
So I'm like, shit, here we go.
Almighty. Who is this?
He's a good guy, by the way. He is a good guy. But anyways, the next day, that night, I was like, I can't move. So I'm telling my wife, I'm like, something's wrong with my back. And so she's helping me move me around on the bed, and like my back just seized on me.
Oh no.
I ended up having to sleep on the floor on my side, like in a fetal position, because like, I just couldn't get any comfort. I hate massages. I can't stand. I don't like massages.
Yeah.
My
You still
cousin
like people
Travis.
touching you?
I don't know what it is. It's just weird. Like, okay, that's enough. Stop touching me, type
Yeah.
thing.
Okay.
My cousin Travis Ochoa owns 3 Massage Heights locations, and I never go. So anyways, I'm dying of pain. I end up calling Travis. I was like, dude, I need a deep tissue. My first massage I had, went to the chiropractor the next day, got adjusted, and my back is, even right now I'm still feeling it. But talking about getting old and getting slow, like. I turned 39 on Tuesday, dude. My life is over.
You don't look 39 though. You good?
Yeah, you good.
Oh,
39's the new 29.
all right. But no, like seriously, like talking about getting older and just the, like I was telling my dad, he's like, yeah, you're in that in between stage, like where you still got it, but you're losing it. And so I'm starting to feel that.
Hey, I would listen. And this is probably not going to be a popular opinion, but I don't believe the older generation was as educated on how to stay together as you get older as we will be.
Agreed.
Like
I
I
agree
don't
with that.
plan on slowing down.
Yeah.
The old adage, people tell you stuff like that, like, oh, you gain weight because your metabolism slows as you get older, and now we're finding out, well, that's not true at all. You gain weight because you slow down, because you have more responsibilities, because you don't have as much time to put in the effort. And that's what ultimately, we die quicker because we move around less and less.
I also think complacency has a lot to do with that. And I think as you get older, you get a lot more complacent. Like you get the job with the 401k, and you raise the kids, and you're like, my life's over, and you kind of like just,
Yeah.
You settle into your
Yeah.
role, you do, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Not at all. I don't mean to bash anybody that does that. I think there are a lot of really good people that do that, and I think that's a great life too. But
Yeah, I'm in a lucky position. I take my daughter to the gym with me every day. We get to run around and do stuff like that. But man, it is a weird thing to realize. Like, I'm not as fast as I used to be, or I'm not. It's taking a lot longer to heal. God knows hangovers. That's a hell of a lot longer. But just weird, just this whole reconciliation with myself. Like when I look in the mirror, I'm like, Shit, that gray wasn't here yesterday. That gray. So I can keep the gel in my hair so you can't see it. But man, it's just weird. So yeah, I just feel like so much time is passing. Like I told my wife that I know I'm gonna have a midlife crisis, and not a midlife crisis of like
gonna happen.
not of like possessions, but I'm gonna have an existential midlife crisis. Like, oh my God, I'm 40. I haven't done this yet. I haven't gone here yet. You know, I need to build something. I want to paint something. Like,
Yeah, when are you getting in the cage?
You know, and I've been saying that I want to do a smoker or something. I got it, like at least.
Why not?
You know, I've been training so long and I've never done anything with it.
Well, look, I can tell you right now, it's definitely not too late. Two of the guys I train with are well in their 40s, not like super old.
Yeah.
Well, not fought their first fights, but in fact, one of them won a amateur title at 43 years old. It was
wow!
My head coach, Leroy Vasquez.
Leroy, you're my new hero, brother.
He, I mean, and then we've got Patrick, and then Patrick Hutton. Yeah, there's all kind. I mean, there are a lot of guys that are.
Don't get it twisted. It's a young man's game.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's no reason why
sure.
you can't get out there, and there's plenty of people to compete against, and you can find
Agreed.
somebody.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I think everybody should be in a fist fight at some point.
Oh, absolutely. Like it's
Absolutely.
weird. Like when I went to my chiropractor, he's like, if this keeps up, you can't keep training. You're not gonna keep doing jiu-jitsu. And I told him,
Well, don't
I'm gonna
tell
train
me.
as long as my body lets me.
Yeah.
It's weird how people will settle and just fear like the potential pain or fear like potential injury. And like I don't want to be one of those people who live in that shell because I'm afraid I'm going to get a scar or I'm going to break something. It's like if you haven't, I always talk about that line in the movie Fight Club. Is like, how much could you know about yourself if you've never been in a fight before?
That's
or
a
been
good
punched
one.
in the
Super
face.
good
Yeah,
line.
that's a good line.
And it's like if you can't, that applies to so many different facets of life. How much could you know about yourself if if you're afraid of heights, if you've never been on a Ferris wheel, or just something like that.
I think it's the fear of doing anything difficult that makes people so unhappy. If you ever met a guy that was just like, oh, yeah, or like Debbie Downer guy, it's like, bro, go outside and frickin' run a couple laps. You'll feel better about yourself.
Yeah.
Doing something hard or even conquering anything is a good feeling. And most people, I find it so funny. You always hear those stories about doctors talking. It's telling you not to do stuff anymore. It's like, bro, what do you know?
Yeah.
I understand you went to medical school, but as long as I can get up and walk around, I'm not going to do anything that breaks me day in and day out. And I think it's a cop out because most people can't see themselves doing things, so they'll just tell you like, man, you got to slow it down, or you're gonna.
The worst of those people are like, why do you do that? Like, doesn't it hurt? You're gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
Like those people right there. Those are the people who never went up to a girl that they liked and just kissed her or asked her to dance, or like those are the kind of people who never just took a chance.
Yeah.
You know,
You gotta take a
those
shot.
people that say, man, why do you do that? That's stupid.
I don't think the people that do that stuff either know how unhappy it makes them that they won't take a shot, and that a lot of these people I guarantee feel unfulfilled. And how can you?
I would even say that the reason they're asking you, how can you do that, is because it's a self-projection kind of thing. It's like, well,
How can I?
Yeah.
So they're saying, how come I can't do it?
right, how come I can't do that? Yeah, is more of what I think a lot of those type of people are coming at,
Yeah.
They just couldn't imagine them doing something so out there,
Yeah, I thank God we're not people like that.
Yeah.
I mean, those people must go to bed at night thinking to themselves, shit, I should have did more. That's what's going to happen on their deathbed.
Yeah, everybody should
shoulda did
train to
more.
fight too.
Yeah.
I mean, it could happen, right? You should
Agreed.
be able to handle yourself
I agree.
Yeah.
somewhat.
Yeah.
Guys, we're going deep here on
Sure.
Fight Talk Live if you're just tuning in. We have Colin right here in studio. We got Matt Schnell, and of course, I'm Adam Villarreal. Kind of veered off a little bit, but we started talking about UFC 226, talking about back injuries. Derek Lewis fought Francis Ngannou, and Derek has had a long storied history with back injuries. And while he did win the fight, he was very unhappy with his performance. We saw it. We all saw it. It wasn't the most outstanding fight in the world. Francis never really engaged. Derek again, talked about his back and claims the fight probably hurt him more than it helped. Matt, let me take it over to you. What were your thoughts on the whole fight?
It was definitely difficult. It was a hard fight to watch. I mean, but Francis came out and said it, and I think it's what a lot of people could see. He was kind of afraid and respecting the matchup, and rightfully so. And I understand why Derek's upset, but it takes
sure.
two to tango at the end of the day. And we'll take a win, and we'll take our win bonus. And at the end of it all, he puts one more win in front of that one. all we're counting is W's, and he's strung them up there. So I'm happy for him. And,
Yeah, me too.
I
I think he was a little hard on himself. You know, I got kind of bummed when he said, like, I need to go learn some technique, because I thought, you can't say that when Bob's your coach, you know. But yeah, like, and that just goes to show how much power these guys have. When you have that much respect for each other's power, that nobody really wants to engage, because you know, as soon as your chin gets touched, I mean, it's night time. Colin, let me pass it over to you. What were your thoughts on Derek and Francis at UFC 226?
Yeah, I think kind of like what Matt already said. Just I think both of them, more Ngannou. I think initially they were both kind of like, all right, I don't want to engage too soon. And then the other thing is they're both kind of notorious gassers too, and I think neither one of them really wanted to gas either. So I think it was kind of both of those things was what led to the trepidation between them. But then, yeah, I mean, then Derek again has that back issue, and
Do we know what spawned the back issue? Did he get slammed at war by somebody?
I highly doubt it. I don't think there's
That was
anybody
Simon
big
Perry.
enough. I don't think
Who
anybody's
picked
big
Derek
enough.
Lewis up?
Yeah.
Stay away from that guy.
Outside of Bubba Bush, I don't know too many people that could probably pick that, or Juan Adams that could probably pick that guy up over their head.
Yeah, the Kraken probably could.
But
And so, like, you know, you just mentioned how gassing for heavyweights, you know, obviously is indicative of a lot of heavyweights. You know, how can we get around that? If you're a heavyweight fighter, you're carrying that much weight at fight night.
train like a lightweight. I think that's one of the big mistakes that the heavyweights make, is they all train like heavyweights. They're like, oh, well, they just like accept it. They're like, oh, we're slow, we gas easily, you know, blah blah blah. But I think
Who is the fastest heavyweight in UFC right now? Would you say?
right now?
Does he exist?
No, because it was well, maybe Curtis Blades, but
Fastest, I guess, it's got to be Daniel Cormier. I mean,
yeah.
he's the one who
The
can zip
chubbiest
the
too,
best.
man,
Yeah.
baddest man on
I
the
mean, like,
planet.
if we're talking about speed, like point A to point B, like DC's probably the
Oh,
fastest.
who's got the best gas tank?
Stipe's got a solid gas tank.
Yeah,
He just
Stipe's
won 5
got it,
rounds. You know, DC's gonna. I think more than anything, it's a body language issue. Like,
Okay. Tell us about that.
Derek Lewis is. I think he's just. You know, he's gone out there in the first round, looked like he was tired. Was he tired? Probably not, but he was just wearing it, like looking like the body. And at any point, this man's dangerous enough to spark you. So, I'm tired.
In
I'm
your
tired.
life.
Yeah. I'm tired. We're all tired, but I think smaller guys tend to do a better job of wearing their poker face. And yeah, you got to train with a high output. But the more fights you get into your career, the more you'll figure it out who you are, what you're capable of. And yeah, I think it's more of a body language issue with Derek, because he's not as tired as he looks, because he looks like he can't move, and then he knocks somebody into the next galaxy.
That was going to be what I was going to say next, is actually, like, as bad as everybody says his cardio is, that dude probably has more late round knockouts than anybody I've ever met in my life. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know anybody that has that many, like I you know, people are always like, oh, well, if Derek fights this wrestler, he's going to just get out grappled. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, I saw Jared Rochal, who's a four-time national champ All-American. It's basically as good a wrestler, at least in the United States, as you're going to get.
Yeah.
Maybe not internationally, but the guy's really solid heavyweight wrestler, right?
Fight.
He held Derek down for 3.5 rounds, and Derek was like, you know what? I'm tired of this. He just stood
Yeah,
up,
he got up.
bang, bang, bang. That was it, dude. And I've seen Jared train. Like, that dude's a monster. He is, God, he's a serious monster. And Derek just laid him out like it was nothing.
I think it's kind of something that needs to be instilled in him. Coach Bob does a great job. One of my coaches used to always tell me, like, shout out to Steve Bruno, we fight tired. You
Yeah.
can do it when you're tired, and your technique is what you got to lean on when you're tired.
Right.
Agreed.
For
When
sure.
you've got that to lean on, you can get through a fight not looking tired. Like, we're all tired. If you make it to the third round, it's a 3-round fight, and you're not tired, like, bro, you better turn it up, unless you're 10-8 in the last. But like, you got to go. It's time, go take that round, go and win. So fighting at a high pace is a tricky thing, but having a poker face is the number one most important thing.
Agreed.
So let's talk a little. Let's go ahead and just jump into the main event. You got Daniel Cormier versus Stipe Miocic. Obviously, if you've been living on the freaking moon, you don't know the baddest man on the planet is now Daniel Cormier. He had that short inside right hook. I mean, he stayed in the pocket the entire time. I mean, the reach differential was so insane. You imagine the shorter guy's always going to be on the outside. He was inside the whole time. threw that short right hook to the face. I mean, what did you think, Colin, when that happened, when he connected?
Man, I was kind of stunned. I was like, wow.
I was choked on a chicken wing at the ball.
Yeah, I definitely jumped out of my seat. I'll tell you that. He actually used a technique. I think it's kind of underutilized, and I absolutely love it. It's like a little shoulder check. He just kind of like shoulder check and then
Like
punch
shove
right
him
up.
off you a little
Yeah,
bit, create
just
space.
Yeah, exactly. You get in that clinch, and I think he was initiating that clinch, and it kind of looked weird initially, but I think what he was trying to do is he was trying to get Stipe to try to get the underhook on him so he could wrestle him, and I think that it was just I don't know. I thought it was a really good game plan because it was, get Stipe thinking you're going to try to wrestle with him. Throw the little shots off the exit, kind of like we work on all the time.
Yeah.
It's good technical basic MMA skills.
Dude, when he
honestly.
made that connection, I mean, the way Stipe immediately just dropped, he ate a couple of shots. You saw him talk to the ref and say what happened. I don't know if you guys could see that. I could say that Stipe is probably one of the classiest guys to lose a title. Didn't talk shit, didn't make any excuses, anything like that. Matt, let me pass it over to you. What were your thoughts when you saw that right hook connect?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of went back and forth on my picks with that fight because Miocic has such smooth hands and he was going to be the bigger man. I know the scale said something differently, but Miocic was the bigger, lighter man.
Yeah.
I think it was the same. It was the same thing. I thought the same about the Ngannou Derek Lewis fights. Like Ngannou's bigger than Derek, and but he's lighter. So that can be an advantage or a disadvantage. But I started to think like, well, DC used to just drop everybody at heavyweight, and you didn't see much of that at 205. And going back to the cutting weight conversation we were having, I think it correlates here. So DC can thump at heavyweight when he's carrying an extra 40 pounds around his midriff. So yeah, I mean it was interesting. Of course, DC's world class, and I knew he was capable of getting it done. My pick going into it was Miocic, and I have a hard time saying that because DC is from Louisiana, and of course I'm always rooting for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was to me on paper it was a tough matchup, and yeah, you got to give him some talks of being the GOAT. It's hard not to.
Yeah,
he's
definitely
in
in
the conversation. Yeah.
You're full if he's not. Obviously, the first thing people think of is John Jones. John Jones. What do you think John Jones was saying when he was on his couch watching that fight?
I think he was sitting there trying to think of the most controversial, messed up thing he could
What am I
possibly
gonna
say
put on
to
Instagram?
DC. Yeah,
What can I say
exactly.
about his wife?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
Yo, kids, and whatever. But yeah, man, congrats to him. What I hated about the fight was the ending of the fight. Freaking Brock Lesnar. Now it was announced beforehand. Like people were tweeting that
Oh, God.
that DC
I thought it was
gonna
fake
call-
news. I thought it was hashtag fake news.
But it was like they
No.
were saying, like, people, like industry insiders were saying that expect DC to call out Brock. It was all staged. I mean,
Clearly.
this is what happens when an entertainment company buys the UFC for $4 billion, and they got to get that ROI. They got to get that money back. They got to sell these big fights. I mean, obviously, I would not pick Brock to be the guy who gets the first title shot. You got to wonder why Stipe Miocic doesn't have an automatic rematch clause in his contract, as most title holders do. Most title holders have it in that they will automatically get a rematch.
I have a theory on that.
What is your theory?
He might have taken more money up front.
That's what some people have said.
Yeah.
That's what some people have said.
And they don't get that
because he's got a baby about to come. I don't know. I mean, to me, that's indicative of someone who thinks they're going to lose
Right. That might have
or
been the
take
other,
some time off.
That might have been the other thought process.
You know what I
of
mean?
his
Like he
life.
knows his baby literally was going to, if she's not born already. Like he said that he had, after the press conference, he had a private jet waiting to take him back home. Like that's how pregnant his wife was. So if he's got the baby, congratulations to him now. But maybe that's indicative of someone saying, I'm not going to fight for a while. I'm going to take some time off. So I'll take more money in lieu of, getting a rematch and getting back in the cage. So, but I mean, come on. There's no way Brock Lesnar deserves a title shot right now.
No way.
I mean, how many other guys are in front of him, to get a title shot?
I can think of at least 3 off
Exactly.
the top of my
That's
head.
my point. But again, to me, that's an entertainment company.
Right.
What did you think about
Let's
it?
be patient on it too. Who knows how this will play out? It did look kind of silly, and I understand where people are coming from. But yeah, this is entertainment. Brock Lesnar, he does command solid pay-per-view numbers.
That's
and
true. He does.
As a person in the company, I want to see the numbers high. So I feel it. I feel what people are saying, but like sure, there's a little entertainment mixed into this game, but at the end of the day, they're putting on 4-ounce gloves and they're fighting each other, and that won't be fake. And I kind of get tired of hearing people like questioning whether the actual fight is fake.
No, there's no doubt
they're out
fight's
there
real.
fighting. They're
No
going to
doubt
fight.
about
And
that.
Brock Lesnar's Brock Lesnar. DC is a wrestling fan. He's going to take his moment to strap that belt on and hit a promo.
I don't think there's
Give
any
it to him.
question into whether or not the fight being fake. I think the call out and the pushing was a little staged, but I just have a problem with Brock cutting to the front of the line.
Yeah.
After being suspended, after having all this time off, I think it sends a bad message to people.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? It's like if John Jones has been off for this X amount of time for violations, USADA violations, and he comes back and says, "No, son, come on, get right back to the head of the table." That sends a bad message, in my opinion. But what do I know?
Don't be surprised, because that's exactly what they're going to do.
'Cause it's again,
he's going to
'cause
shuffle
people are
right
gonna buy
as soon
that.
the day that John Jones clears his USADA suspension. He'll be in a training camp. 6 weeks later, he'll fight for the world title. And is it fair? No, it's not. But I mean, come on.
It's a business.
Yeah, it's a business, and life isn't fair, right? We've been hearing that forever. It's just not fair. Sorry. Yeah, the guys that are gonna make the numbers, they're the ones that are gonna get the paychecks. It is what it is,
Hey, this is kind of dumb. Did you guys see all the posts about Brock Lesnar's teeth?
No.
Because
His teeth are bad?
dude, his teeth, he's got meth teeth. This is a bad way to show this, but
Oh no.
so this is a close-ups that people took. Here, I'll just put this real quick
Oh.
on the.
Oh my God.
Look at that from the mic.
That is. Ooh.
And so now all these pictures of him are popping up. Everyone's like, "What the fuck is going on with his teeth?" Take a look at that.
That is gnarly looking. That
It's
is
like-
so
He's
gnarly.
got like meth teeth, dude. Like, what's going on with that guy?
Well, they're all broken and chipped up top of the body. Man, yeah.
They're all filled in with like just gunk. It's disgusting. Guys, talk about Brock Lesnar's teeth. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back and wrap up. This is Fight Talk Live, Motor Radio. Watch some fights with us when we come back.
The head. Look at that power. Beautiful work.
Smith looking for that knee, framing off with that elbow. There it is. That's it. And here's the overhook. Boom. And there's the knee. Perfect position.
Here we go. Round number 3.
And Goodman again tells him, no, I do not want to shake. Oh, flying knee! That's it! Jared Gordo with the flying knee knockout! Oh my God!
No, I do not want to shit.
Oh, flying knee! That's it!
Wcześniej był prawy, nie wyciągnięte absolutnie żadne wnioski. Ciągle ta lewa ręka nie chroniła głowy, więc korzystał z tego Erko Juni w taki właśnie sposób.
Veteran came out firing.
Had a feeling this one wasn't going to go long, and it did not. Both guys exchanging leather. The left hook counter over the top by Brendan Allen and Larry Crow.
Advice: just relax, be loose, be calm. The tighter you are, the more it affects your performance. Oh! Big right hand from T. Edwards. Oh!
June is getting the clearer shots. I mean, he walked off.
Look at it here, bang. Takes him right off of his feet. Great finishing instinct. Alfred Jones.
And not an easy fight at all for Moutinho. Jones, a guy that had great striking. They were going back and forth, but Moutinho lands the shot. There's the hook off the uppercut from Jones. Moutinho is the one that comes up with aces.
Boom! Knockout! Sebastian Przemyśmaj Tybulce! Zawodnik Grzegorza Jakubowskiego.
It's a slower finish. To the belt. Well, as I said that. That's it! Roll the credits. This one is over.
In a moment, Aranches having a breather. Oh, nice. Right to the side of the head. Look at that power. Beautiful work.
Bijesz, dwójki prostymi bijesz, lewy, prawy, wchodzi ten prawy! Prostymi bijesz, lewy, prawy, wchodzi ten prawy!
For this weight division, and Marsh finding the target first, putting TJ Britton away, giving him his first loss in his career.
We spoke with Britton afterwards. He popped out.
Yeah, maybe he's hit the body several times up that open side. It's a really good weapon, and you see he switched up to the feet there, but he got caught.
Oh, flipping shot! Langowski with the finish!
Wow.
From Bruno Silva, catches him with an uppercut. Nice body
Catch back up. Are we back? There we go. We're back. Hey guys, welcome back to Fight Talk Live. We're gonna watch some fights with us, and listen to two pros tell us what they see. Let's talk about why these guys should get knocked out. So Colin, Matt, let's see what you guys have. Let's go ahead and pull up some fights. So what do we have right there? Jose Torres versus Jared Brooks.
So
That's an interesting
I
slam.
actually spoke to Jose Torres about this. He was talking about basically what happened right there is
We know Mr. Torres right there. He's been on.
Yeah, so the other guy, he went to go throw him, and Jose basically he hooked his leg, which made it difficult for him to throw him properly. So when he went to suplex him, he came down wrong. It wasn't really, he didn't intend to fall that way. He just...
It just happened the way it did. I think Jared Brooks overly aggressive and just didn't pay attention to where he was in the fight, knocked himself out.
Oh, this is our buddy Cameron Graves.
Kevin, oh yeah, nice long cross.
Snaky leg.
Straight left. He's a good
Just look at
45
him, dude.
lanky south.
So what are you saying to your friend who's getting his ass whooped right now?
I say I'm throwing in the towel there. He was on wobbly legs for a while. Kid did a good job. Nice long punches.
That was just that guy got a good angle, good right hand over the top.
Barely missed him with that.
Step to the
back.
right. Look, step to the right. Jab 2.
Ooh,
right over the
flush.
top. Right as the guy was circling to his
And the
left.
guy ducked his head as he threw his jab and caught it.
I'm not even going to pronounce that name.
Yeah.
Beat downs, man. Look at that.
It's just another overhand right, big shot.
Right
kinda,
behind the ear.
right
Remember
behind
the ads
ear.
on the people's backs?
Yeah.
Look, these are some big boys right
This
here.
is a nice one, yeah. Spinning back fist.
Mack
Yeesh.
truck just hitting you right.
wow.
You know, anytime your back's against the cage, you got to be aware that you're out of space and they're not.
You can't move.
Yeah.
Agreed.
That was a good shot, good read, yeah.
All right.
Willis Black, Destin Parrish.
Oh, overhand right.
Another overhand right.
Look
It's
at
a
it,
big
going
shot.
for the double sprawls.
Sprawl.
Knocked him out. Yep.
Yeah.
Big shots. Strong guy.
Desperation.
Shout out to Amari Hernandez who said Gollum from Lord of the Rings had better teeth than Brock Lesnar.
That's my boy Omar.
Yeah, he made a few comments about it.
Yeah, shocker.
Look at that.
Spinning
Oh,
back.
liver shot.
Ooh,
Fear the liver shot.
those will seize you right up.
This is
Tuesday
my-
Night Contender Series. By the way, Don Pilarte, who was going to be on the show today, is actually fighting on the Tuesday Night Contender Series, and will be here next Thursday to talk about his fight. So.
That dude just got taken into another universe.
Ooh.
Look at this.
Oh!
That's
Jesus.
My friend. That's my friend getting slapped. No big deal.
Oh, that's your buddy? That's my
I
bad.
know the guy. Yeah. Another overhand right. This guy's just not defending or
Yeah.
fighting. So
No
like,
ground
come
skills.
None.
on. Yeah. That's indicative of a guy who wants out of a fight.
Yeah, oh, for
Agreed.
sure.
Agreed.
Big straight right hand.
Ooh.
Hector Aldana. I thought this was an early stoppage. I fought this night. I fought in Singapore. Same card.
So you thought this was early?
I thought it was an early stoppage.
Yeah,
Nice
that was actually a
right.
good back and forth fight, too. And the other guy was probably winning.
Whoa, look at the length on that guy. Hands are down. Look how low his hands are.
Hands
Just
down.
eating it.
Hands down, fighting in a phone booth
Reaching
too.
for the shot.
These cages are small. Like there is no.
It's like a 20-foot cage.
There is no hands down style in these cages. You don't have the range to be able to do it. So
That guy had too much reach to keep his hands that low.
I'm
Come
saying
on.
even just the space was.
No, but yeah, I hear what you're saying. Like, this cage is tiny, too. Look
Yeah.
at that.
This is XFN. This is a promotion in South Florida that all the amateur guys fight on.
That was an amateur fight?
He had shin pads on.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
Let's do a couple more. We got some big boys there. Of course, Ben Saunders.
Another liver shot or solar plexus shot.
I love body shots, man.
They're nice.
Right.
Ooh, that's a liver right there.
Just good
That was
timing.
liver.
Yeah, good timing.
Man, Jake Allenberger, man, that's a guy
Ooh,
who
there's another
I've
one.
always liked, and I felt like he just
Oosh.
really fell
Wow.
off.
Flying knee.
Yeah.
Brian
So-
Foster, that's a dude that's been around forever. I
Always
think.
throws awesome, tricky stuff. Yeah. he's been
Yeah.
around for a long
Well, I tell you what, let's watch one more, and then we'll get. I know, Colin, you got to get out of here soon.
This is my boy, Julian Narosa.
So
yeah.
Julian better do some good stuff right here.
Ooh.
And he does, it looks like.
That's the only one. Good job, Julian
Awesome,
Narosa.
awesome. Let's
Stud.
watch it. Oh,
Look at
for
that.
good measure.
That was a
Through
super.
the guard,
Through
too.
the guard. Well, it's interesting. The kid's wrist knocked him out. You know, the bend of his wrist. The kid got
Does he have
through
a Taekwondo or karate background?
No, he's funky though.
Yeah,
This
that looked
Julian
like a
Narosa.
Taekwondo or
Yeah,
karate
he's
kick.
funky.
It was like a step up round kick.
Hey guys, if you're just tuning in, you're a little late, I gotta tell you, but this is Fight Talk Live. We have Colin Thomas right here. We got Matt Schnell. Colin's got a fight coming up. Colin, let's talk a little bit about this. Where can people check in with you, get tickets? Talk to me.
You can get the tickets at akafights.com. The fights will be in Bossier City, Louisiana at the Horseshoe Casino.
God's country.
Some say.
Some say. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, man. It's my first pro title fight. It's in Louisiana, which I actually really love fighting in Louisiana. The fans have always been
Great food.
good to me. Good food.
The women are beautiful.
There you go.
Some of the women are
Ladies
beautiful.
and gentlemen, the mayor.
The mayor of Shreveport.
Sheriff danger.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and I really like the matchup. It's a good matchup for me, I think. And
Talk to me a little bit about your camp right now. You know, who's helping you get ready for this, and who's going to be out there with you for this fight?
I'm kind of all over the place. My main training camp is always Paradigm Training Center. I've been with them since day one, and
Paradigo.
probably always have a home base there. I work with Aaron Navarro for my boxing. He's one of the best boxing coaches in the city and really in the world. I've got Terry Williams. He's my strength and conditioning coach. I train out at the league with him. I cross-train a lot, too. I go to War. I go to 4 Ounce. I'm kind of everywhere. I'm with Matt. Matt is helping teach some MMA classes down at Main Street. And, so I like to mix it up, but, I got some really solid people around me, too.
Can we get any kind of prediction from you? What can the fans expect?
I mean, as always, an exciting fight. I've never once had a boring fight. I don't even know what that's like. Like, I don't know. The whole. Yeah, I don't know. I get in there, I get after it. You can guarantee action from bell to bell. I think I'm going to finish this fight.
Man.
I don't want to predict how, but
Anybody you want to plug or thank before we go?
Yeah, all my sponsors, man. On it got on board. Shout out to Andrew Craig. They're really coming on strong. I'm loving working with them. I got Woo Fighters World, Emmanuel Salon, Sugarland. Best hair in the game, obviously.
He always does you right before the fight.
Dude.
Somebody put me up. Give me right.
I know. I got you. I'll send I'll have my people get in touch with your people.
My daughter, yeah.
Yeah.
Those are the only people I have. Awesome, man.
I'm actually about to go to my other sponsor. We talked about getting old. I've got a neurosty doctor, Dr. Powell.
A what doctor?
A neurosty doctor.
Talk to me about a neurosty.
A rosty is
It sounds like some weed or something.
You got some?
I'll talk to you.
Yeah, off the air. I got you. Yeah, but no, Rosti is it's a muscular branch of chiropractic medicine, basically.
I think we need that.
They're incredible. Like they basically have you do range of motion tests, find the source of the issue, and then they go in there, deep tissue stuff, a little bit of rehab. It's a little bit of both, and they have an incredibly high success rate. They prevent surgeries. Like they're really incredible. Like
nice.
So
yeah, I
Dr.
might have to get
Powell's,
that guy's number.
He's literally right up the road from you. It's like literally you could get there in 2 minutes from here.
Nice, man. Well, great. And Matt, the most handsome man. I'm just gonna say it. The world. I know you didn't want to say it, but I'll be the one to say it. I want to thank you for jumping on here. What can we expect, man, from you? I know you fought in Singapore. When do you think your next fight will be in the UFC?
Yeah, coming off 2 wins in a row in the UFC,
Nice.
so feeling good about that. Obviously, we've got work to do. I'm back to work with my guys here in Houston, and I'll be going out next week to help Dustin Ortiz put the finishing touches on his training camp. He's fighting in UFC Calgary coming up, so we're going to try and stay busy. If I had my say in it, I'd fight another 2 times this year. And who knows what the next matchup will be. I think I'm looking at a guy in the top 15 potentially. And, give me number 15. Let's go. Let's sign a contract. And I'm back to work. I feel good. I'm healthy. I'm strong. And I feel like I got a little momentum rolling. And handsome. Yeah, well, shoot.
Let's not forget that.
Let's not leave that out. But definitely feeling good about things and just ready to keep it going. I have a beautiful family, a beautiful wife, a lot of people who support me, and yeah, I'm here. I'm here in Houston. Y'all fighters looking to get some work. Y'all reach out. I'm out here doing my thing.
And how can people connect with you?
All my social media, Instagram, Twitter, Danger_Caged. I got a Facebook fan page, Matt Schnell. Go on and type my name in and look me up. Hit that follow button and reach out. Let's go. Let's train. Let's work.
Awesome, guys. Well, this has been Fight Talk Live. We do this every Thursday at our new time, 3 p.m. So we will not be on here 4 o'clock anymore. Again, hit us up at motiveradio.com. If you know anyone you think it would be great for the show, hit me up on Facebook at Adam V MMA. I'm always looking for new guests. Again, let me thank Colin for basically saving the day. Again, I wish you the best of luck in your fight. Matt, and again, thank you. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks so much. Hey guys, welcome to Fight Talk Live.